Around this time, around Juneteenth time, we have a game-a-thon, and we invite people to come and play the game, and it's great. And we thought this year we'd do something a little bit different. That instead of just playing the game, we're going to put you up on game. So today we've got a lot of information coming at you, basically all about y'all money. How many of y'all would like to see more? Just if you don't, let me know because I will take yours. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. If you've got too much money, I'm good. I'm good. You can just hand it to me. I will help you out in that situation. Is that good? But I think all of y'all raised your hand. So we're going to come at it from a couple of different perspectives. We have some experts here. We're going to come at it really from four different things. And this is your deal on today. I don't want you to hold back at all. You can ask all the questions. There is no bad question. Don't feel embarrassed or anything. Nobody knew anything at 3 months. Amen. So I want you didn't even know the language. So I want you to make sure to ask the question. You can stop any of one of these speakers to ask whatever question you have. Do not be shy or anything like that. Today is really about your pocketbook and your money and your revenue. Now, I'll just tell you a little bit about this game before I introduce the grand scheme of all things, my partner in crime. How many of y'all have heard of Ebonyopoly before? Good deal. Oh, you haven't? All the way in Chi-Town, you haven't? Good. What's your name? Lisa. Oh, I can't wait for this. I love telling people. Have you played Monopoly before? Yes. Okay. So you know how Monopoly has like railroads and all that kind of stuff. Now, believe it or not, all of those places are real places. But it's lost. People don't know that over time. And so what we wanted to do is we created something that is important in African American history, most of it from the Reconstruction era of the United States, so 1865 to 1900-ish, when we were killing it. Y'all say killing it. Killing it. We had black towns, we had black mayors, we built over 100 HBCUs, we were killing it. So we looked at that era and we said we're going to design a game around there. And so we replaced everything around there. There's no Park Place in Portland, right? There's no railroads. We have stops on the Underground Railroad. We have HBCUs over there. We actually have Black Wall Street there, Greenwood Avenue. We even have in the boardwalk position, everybody asked, we have a place there. It's called Nicodemus. Anyone know what Nicodemus is? No, I'm not in the Bible. That's good. You don't know? Okay, cool. Good. Nicodemus is the oldest black established town west of the Mississippi that is still around. Okay. Now, to make it just that much sweeter, we didn't want people to forget these are real places and represent real things. So what we did is that we put a QR code on the back of all the properties when you buy them. So when you scan it while you're playing the game, it'll take you online to tell you about the property. And then on top of that, we went around the country and in some situations outside the country and to these places to film in these places. So for example, when you scan Black Wall Street or Greenwood Avenue here on the thing, you'll see a piece of our documentary comes up where we're there in the new Black Wall Street interviewing the president of the museum. When you scan the John Freeman Station, which is the end of the Underground Railroad, that's in Ontario, Canada. We went there and interviewed a fifth generation owner of that property. We even have video of John Freeman's grave. I talked to you about Nicodemus. We went to Nicodemus. Let me tell you something. On paper, they say the population of Nicodemus is 24. In person, it's probably about 4. You don't accidentally go to Nicodemus. Like, you're going there on purpose. You're not going on the way somewhere. It's in the middle of Northwest Kansas. But we went there and found the 6th generation founder of the town and interviewed her and put her on the game. So it's a bunch of cool things there. We even put all the chance and chess cards are all very real scenarios. Nothing is made up. So if you get a chance, and also the way we sell it, I'm probably the most proud of how we sell it. You can go online at ebonyopoly.com and buy it, and that's great. But we also sell it through black-owned bookstores and museums around the country. You can't get it at Amazon. People say, why? It's simple. Why? Jeff Bezos ain't black.
Thank you. All right.
We turned down the largest distributor of games in the country. Like, no, we're going to our people. We are Donna. Y'all give it up for Donna, the owner of the shop. Come here. Real quick. I'm going to show you why we sell it in black-owned bookstores. How quick do these sell out?
Oh, very.
So every time it sells in the store, she gets paid.
Right.
We want to keep money in the family.
There you go.
Amen?
Amen.
Keep money in the, see, if you buy it off Amazon, she don't get paid.
No, you don't.
Jeff get paid.
Right.
I don't know Jeff. I know Donna. I call Donna and be like, hey, look, you got some extra cheese puffs there.
That's right.
And I come pick some up.
Right.
I can come to Donna, I'm a little short on this book. I don't take it. I know Donna. Donna knows me.
That's right.
I don't know Jeff. So we want to take care of our people. Everywhere we are the number one selling thing in that store. And so that's how we're giving back. Not only that, like little bitty things. Like you'll see our t-shirts and stuff. When you see anything that's designed, we had designed by Black folks, made by Black folks. Amen? I don't hate nobody, but I love them. Now we're going to come at you from 4 different perspectives today. So today I want y'all to really, really give it up for my partner in crime. She is so phenomenal. I met her, we were doing some filming things, and her whole thing is really just about growing where you're planted. Like you don't really have to go out and quit your job and be a full-time minister or anything. You can grow where you're planted. You can make the money there. You can make the connections there. You can make an impact there. I was always just so impressed. I'm thanking the Lord God that now we're in business all of these years later, but I look up to her, and she's a phenomenal individual. She's going to talk to you today about how to take that money that you make in your job and make it work for you. Y'all give it up for my friend, my partner, Mrs. Alicia Johnson.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Listen, I want you guys to give yourselves a hand. Clap for yourselves, because you came out this afternoon to hear some information that is going to, I promise you, it's going to change your life. I've had a chance to talk to our investment in real estate people. They're phenomenal people, and we normally would not have gotten this information if we weren't in relationship. I had time to sit with my brother, and really we've implemented many of his strategies on financial wealth. So listen, you give yourselves a big, big hand. Thank you guys for coming out so much. Really impresses me. And, I thank you for that introduction, Dwayne. But let me tell you something. One of the things, we've been in business for 4 years? 4 years now. And every year, Come on, let me hear what you're saying. Leave with professional capital.
I'm Dr. Keisha White, so I'm an educator and working in corporate America and K-16 education. So what I mean by professional capital, this is what I train my students. You're going to lead with a letter of recommendation, which is an endorsement. You'll also lead with the skills, those transferable skills, right? And then you'll also lead with that experience.
Come on.
And the network.
The 401k.
And a 401k.
We're going to talk about the 401k in a minute.
Or 403b or something you can transfer somewhere else as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Walk away with more than when you got there. Okay, so when you got there, you're learning an entire new job, new skills, new relationships. So ideally, when you're first there, start figuring out where do you want to be when you leave? Where do you want to walk away? Okay, what do you want to be able to do? One of the first things that I realized when I had been at a company for about 10 years, I wasn't paying attention, I was distracted, worried about raising kids, which is not a bad thing, right? But at some point, you're like, I want more out of life. I want more than what I'm doing. And I started looking around and trying to get a promotion, and I had not invested in anything. I hadn't invested in relationships. I hadn't invested in education. I hadn't been strategic about the positions that I was in. I was just mindlessly going. So when I tried to get an advancement, I couldn't get one because I wasn't ready. 10 years I wasted. So then what? I started looking around. I found certification. I had them pay for stuff. I built relationships. I got a mentor. The next thing I know, like after I got my certification at year 15, I was being recruited because I knew where I wanted to be. I knew what skills was going to take me to that next level. And I've been strategic about that with every single position. I was just talking to my husband. I think it was this weekend, and I just got a new job. I just got a new job in December, and I've been on the job for 6 months. I've got about a 2-year commitment, and I was like, oh, I need to start looking for my other job, my next job. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, you got to look for your next job while you have one, because I know where I want to go. So always walk away with more. You get a certification, education, experience, street creds, okay? So that's one thing. But we're here to talk about, and all these things are transferable in terms of finances, because, the average, let me tell you, I was just doing some research, and there are kind of 4 different tiers of employment. So there's usually managerial, supervisor, above a level that many of us have been allowed to participate in. Then there's service, sales and office, natural resources, construction, maintenance, and then production. So the majority of Black people tend to be in every field except for that managerial and supervisory position. And that's strategic. Do you want to know why? Because I learned that at certain levels, they start participating in company benefits like stock options, profit sharing, okay, bonus goals at certain level. And so you'll find that most Caucasians are at that upper echelon of management and training. And there's a strategic, in your company it may be a grade or a position, but where most of the Black people are, we're not at those levels. And so if you want to aspire, and that's an investment. People plan based on stock options to cash those in, buy houses. It's a form of building wealth, okay? But it's reserved for a certain level within your company. The other aspect of wealth that I really wanted to touch on today is retirement through 401k. Now, how many people here, I know everyone's heard of 401k, how many people, if they are employed in a company, are invested in a 401k? Okay, so that's 10% of who's here. How many people are maxed out on your contributions for your 401k. Okay, so we're talking about 1%. Now, as far as investments and wealth building, that is the biggest vehicle for Americans today. It used to be pensions. Pensions, you could come and work at a job and work there for 20, 30 years, retire, and you get a guaranteed income. Most of those plans are gone. And so the only way that we can take care of ourselves in an age where, in our old age, we have to plan ahead of time. Okay, so what does that mean? For me, I go to church. Who goes to church? Okay, we all go to church. So one of the things I started early, they say first thing you should do is start early. Okay, start as soon as you can. And it seems like, like when you are starting and you don't have money, you're like, how do I? But let me tell you something. They tell you always donate 10%, at least, or a percentage, right? Your first percentage goes to the Father, right? So he can bless the rest. The next, you need to pay yourself, okay? Either in savings or in your investments, okay? So you need to pay the Father, but you need to pay yourself too, okay? And the benefit to that is that there's two things. First, most companies match your contribution, all right? And you're gonna start small, but if you have it in that order, if you honor God with a percentage, all right? And I'm not telling you 10%, but start somewhere. I'm not telling you start at 12% in your 401k, but start somewhere. Because when you start, I promise you, God will bless the rest, okay? Everything else will get blessed. You'll see. So what's the strategy? When you get, I promise you, you'll get a raise or promotion, right? Because you're going to be thinking strategically. You're going to be contributing. You're going to be building relationships. You're going to be investing in yourselves using the company's resources. And let me tell you something. When you start doing these things, people notice you, and they want to continue to promote you. It happens every time. So as you're doing these things, as you're investing in your relationship, and you're investing in your organization, then you will receive promotions. You will receive increases. So one of the strategies I employed was all of my financial raises, I didn't take it. I could exist on the money that I was bringing in. Every increase, I just rolled over into my 401k. That way it didn't feel painful until I maxed out. And so what's the benefit? What's one of the benefits of a 401k company contribution plan?
I will retire one day.
You will have the money to retire one day. Anything else? That's right. What'd you say?
Tax rate, the gross tax rate.
Bingo. How many people love paying taxes? Who loves paying taxes? Nobody. One of the best ways that Uncle Sam has put in place for Americans to reduce their tax liability is to pay and contribute to your retirements. Listen, so your 401k, any contribution is going to be pre-tax, or you're going to donate it before taxes. Insurance is donated pre-tax. Anything such as that, any investments in HSA, health savings account, that's all pre-tax, and that's important because it's not just important to make money, it's important to keep what you make. So this is a strategy to keep more of your money. Your tax liability will be reduced.
Can you say that again?
Which part? My name's Alicia Henfield. No, I'm just kidding.
That's something that I wanted to know more about. Your after retirement becomes an option, but what options do you have with the 401k? Specifically, what are the tax benefits?
Okay, so the tax benefits, first of all, is that it reduces the amount of money. It's your contributions are deducted from your you determine how much money you want to contribute. Say you start off with 6%, which is great. Just make sure you continually increase that every year. And those contributions occur before Uncle Sam determines you owe money. So if you work and you bring home $75,000 and you contribute $5,000 into your 401k, another $5,000 for tax benefits, Uncle Sam says you only owe money on $60,000. Okay? It reduces your tax liability. So you either may keep more money, you don't have to pay as much money. So many people, when they start out, they don't have yet a house, which we're going to talk about how to get one, which is another tax principle and wealth management process, or maybe if you're renting. So you want to contribute pre-tax and reduce your tax liability as much as possible. Now, so you get to keep more money, right? The other thing about 401k is the company gives you money. They match a percentage of what you contribute. If you start early, you're subject to this thing called compounding interest. You can start with just a little bit. And the longer that you have to retire, that money will continue to increase and accrue and grow until you are able to retire comfortably. That's just on your own contributions. When you're adding the fact that a company now matches for free, they don't ask you to do anything else. They just give, it could be 3%, 5%. One of the things you want to shop around when you're looking for jobs. How much? Because that's variable. It's not guaranteed. Some companies are very generous. Sometimes if you get profit sharing, you want to roll that profit. Don't spend it unless you're going to reduce debt. That's fine. But after that, invest that into your retirement. And why? Because if it's 200, 300, what are you going to do with that? Invest it in yourself and let that money continue to compound interest and grow. Okay? Now, there are certain strategies, because usually when you're investing in a 401k, you have a myriad of options, and it can be overwhelming. Consult somebody, but you can do some basic things. You can do some research. You can either invest in 401ks that are just going to handle it for you. You know, you don't have to worry about the ups and downs. That's up to you. You have someone who manages it. You can pick your own options. You can invest in IRA. You can invest in stocks. You can do a myriad of things. But if you invest in a stock or a fund, make sure that you investigate the fund and the person who's managing that fund. And one of the things that I always try to do is pick those funds that had the least amount of my money going to pay somebody else. Okay? Very simple. I want to keep as much that I make. And those tend to do pretty good. Now, the majority of people that start off with a company, you won't end with that company. So that's fine. Just make sure that when you get your next job, you take your money with you. And it's called a tax-free rollover, okay? That then jumpstarts your new fund, okay? So this is a strategy where you can maximize the days that you're there at your job and think strategically about how to invest in yourself economically, professionally, relationally. You need all of these, right, for wealth. Why do we need relations? Because I don't know it all. I didn't know how to start Ebonyopoly until I met my partner. So I needed that relationship. Yes, ma'am.
What if you don't make it that long on a job? You there, you invest, and then you let go or something. How does it take a certain amount of time for you to invest in a full one?
Usually, you can start right away investing. Most companies may have what's called a vesting process. So maybe 3 years, it varies, but that's one of the pieces of homework you want to figure out. Is it 5 years? Talk to people. How long are people staying? Is there go to Glassdoor? Are they turning over quickly? What can you do to stay over? It's amazing, but when you have a strategy, you can tolerate a lot. So 3 years may seem like not that big of a deal because you have a plan. And, we're not going there to make friends. We're not going to our job to, become a family. We're going there to gain professional and economic capital to fulfill the strategy. So it's amazing what you can tolerate or what you don't allow yourself to get involved in when you have a strategy. Okay. All right, I think I've talked long enough. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I know you talked a lot about the 401k if you're employed. What about if you're already self-employed and you want to get a 401k? Which one do you recommend if you're self-employed?
That is a fantastic question. And my partner is going to talk about what happens and how do you invest in your investment strategy if you are self-employed, because that's a whole different type of law. But that's an excellent question. Yes, Daniel from the Lion's Den?
I just wanted to know how much it costs
To
purchase.
purchase, the game?
If they have
Oh, what's the price? Here. $40 today.
Okay.
If you came back tomorrow, it'd be $49.99. If you left and went to our website, it would be $49.99. For today, it's $40.
Got a deal there.
Which is also an investment, okay? Because it's an investment in your family. Yes, ma'am.
I purchased the game last year,
Uh-huh.
and I've only played it once. I would like to know what inspired you all to create the game.
Oh my, what inspired us to create the game? Well, a couple of things. I'd always wanted to have my own business. So you'll find that when I believe you should have multiple strategies for your life. So one of my strategies for building a business was I needed to make sure that my employment, that revenue stream, was acceptable because it helped finance my investment into this business. So I'd always wanted to have my own business. And I've been on the lookout, and I tried, like we all those MLMs, and oh my gosh, there's so many. I've been in all of them, right? But I've been searching, and at the time that I think we were doing a photo, he was filming me, and we were having a conversation. It was July. It was during the summer, right after George Floyd was murdered. And for me, I had been working with some young women who were learning about the civil rights movement. And they did not realize there were women as part of that movement. Dorothy Nash, they didn't know any of these names. And so that's another reason why we really need to know our history, because there was a strength that I saw in these women that I'd never seen before. There was a pride, there was a confidence. When we don't know who we are, we don't know what we're doing, and we don't know how to contribute, right? We see no reason to do that. And so I was explaining that to Dwayne, and Dwayne started talking to me about another concept similar to this game that had to do with having players play according to the year and the times and the laws. So every turn you would move from 1800s to 1900s to 2000s, and you play according to those laws. And if you think about it, as a Black person back in 1800, you didn't even have to die. So you were already at a disadvantage. And the whole idea was to show the disadvantaged nature of laws that kept African Americans out of the ability to contribute in this country's wealth that is today. Because you have a lot of people that don't understand. And they say, well, just pull yourself up by your bootstrap. But there was a systemic method that kept us out of that accumulation of wealth that's inherited from one generation to the next. And so this game, he was explaining to me, and I said, hey, where do you buy that game? How much is that? And it was a concept that he had used. It was a prop. And he was like, I never thought about that. And so, you know, if you know me, once I get my hooks in something, I'm not going to let it go. So I was like, you got to sell that game. You have to sell that game. And then, you know, a couple of weeks later, I was like, how can we buy the game? And he said, I hadn't thought about it. I said, well, let's start a company. And I said, initially I wanted to just invest. And then he gave me the investment returns. And I was like, I'm not interested in that. I want to be part of the whole thing. And so and he's very generous. And he said, okay. So, I put some money out of retirement to fund it. And my strategy is I'm going to work until I get to a point, and then I need a business to take over, right? And a lot of times you talk to people who are investing, or they have a retirement plan, and you ask them, well, when you retire, what are you going to do? And they go, I don't know, I'll figure it out. And I'm like, no, you need to figure it out now. It needs to be your passion, so that you can work to do what you want, right, at some point in your life in the future. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you or your team do any type of like classes or public speaking, like in support of or separate from the game? Because I teach financial literacy, and everything you're saying as far as it goes about retirement. I started considering now I need like 1 to 1.5, maybe $2 million to retire, and I feel like I'm not ready. And the power is in the time. So I'm on this journey and like wanted to take people along with me, but every step there's something else you have to look at. You know, so I don't know. I think you guys have really tapped into something that's really good. So I was just wondering if you do any like speaking.
We do. That's another strategy behind the game. We built the game on 3 principles: family, history. So we wanted to make sure it's low tech, right? Everybody wants us to put the game online, but everybody's on the phone, and that separates the family. And our strength as a people has been the Black family, has been the information that's shared from one generation to the next. So we intentionally made this to be low tech so that the family could sit around the room and learn from each other, because that's another source of wealth untapped in our communities now. And then the second is finances. We wanted to take, because it's based on, they say a lot of realtors learned how to be realtors by playing the game. So that's the second principle behind the game. And the third one is history. And so we knew that when we built it, and we knew that these were also different avenues of not just marketing, but ways that we could connect. So people were interested in financing. They're interested in the Black family. They're interested in history. We could pivot and speak. This is what this seminar is now, because this is something these are basic principles. We didn't just want to sell the game and make money. We want to be able to communicate, because this is the strength. This is our village. Right? So we wanted to be able to share and say, you're not alone, and we're here to help you when we can. So yes, we'll come. Just to ask, right, Shumi? Just ask. Any other questions before? Yes, ma'am.
Do we get the Ebonyopoly t-shirt?
We have t-shirts, right, Sharisha?
Yes, ma'am.
See, our super duper fantastic assistant, executive, glue that without her, none of this would happen. So,
Are there more games to come? I grew up off of games. My mom played a lot of games with us, and like you were right, it does give you a different type of bond, and it keeps when times get hard, you know who's there, your family is there, and I appreciate the game. I played it, and I'm a little competitive. I play with my family, and it's a very deep game, but we're able to appreciate the time we spend with it. So if there are more games to come, please let us know. And
we're working on it. Yes, there are more games to come, and I'm so proud of us as a company, because we also have another game developer that we're going to help. So we have his game that we're selling, you know, and that to me touches my heart. My heart is ministry, and so I believe marketplace ministry can solve all the evils of the world.
Percent down right now. Think about that. Think about all the years you've worked. What would you do if you had half of that money? Boy, I wish I could see the looks on your face like, oh, you know what? I'm retired right now. So don't even, if you have a business, if you have work for a company that's 401k, I'm like, I literally can show you numbers. We can go all in, but let me tell you something, just go in Monday, max out. Don't worry about the numbers. Okay, like I said, I can break them down to you so that you won't miss it. Don't make a difference. Just do it. I don't have enough time to break it down. You can call me later, right? I'll be on the beach somewhere with my toes up and I have time to talk to you, all right? I only got a little time today, so I want to talk to you about something very specific. Y'all got companies? All right, how many of y'all want to make $1 million? Good. 83 grand a month. Okay, we're gonna go through it. Y'all ready? You sure? All right. I'm only gonna put you up on 3 different concepts so you can understand this. Okay. You know, if I had more time, we can go through it, but we in it. Stop me if it gets confusing or anything like that, right? And I'm gonna utilize concepts that we already utilize with the game to make you so that you can understand it, right? Very first thing you want to think about is how can I have salespeople that I don't pay? How can I have salespeople that I don't pay? Okay. One of the things that I have a film company, and in my film company, part of it does streaming. and we stream more than anybody else in the entire state. Okay? The reason why is that I have over 100 salespeople that I do not pay. I don't pay them a dime. What are y'all wondering? How do you do that? How you get them to work and then you don't pay them a dime? I'll tell you. One of the things that we stream is we stream funerals. Now, I don't want to chase somebody down when their grandmama has died. Hey, by the way, I know your grandmama just died. By the way, we have a great film company. So you think about, where do people go when they need the service? They're going to the funeral home. So our relationship is with the funeral home. The funeral home in turn will sell the service for us and we go do it. I don't even have to know them. Most of the people I do business with in all my companies, I don't know them. Never met them, never will. So you can go there, they will sell you the service. My team will send somebody out to do it, and I am on the beach. Amen? Now, when you can do that times 100, times 1,000, times 10,000, how many of y'all have ordered something on Amazon before this year? Let me see it. Okay. How many of y'all have Jeff Bezos come to your house this year? Anyway. How you doing? This is Jeff. He sent somebody. He doesn't even know the dude he sent. Think about all the places that are actually sending things out, and all the places that you're buying stuff from. Sometimes we buy something from places we don't even know where they are. It could be coming from down the street, could be coming from China. Y'all don't even know. Because what do? We're going to utilize the people. You're going to Amazon to buy, so we're going to make sure that we are there whenever you go to buy. When your business, I want you to think about who else can sell your business. We talked about an entertainment company, right? So let's talk in terms of music and CDs, product, right? You come up with a CD. A lot of artists say, I want to sell a CD. That's great, but who's buying that while you're sleeping? If it's you that's selling it, who's buying it when you're on vacation? I'm leaving here today, and I'm leaving the country, right? And I will go to 3 or 4 different countries before I come back here, okay? If I didn't have anything to sell that wasn't through me, I'd be going broke while I do that. I literally would not be able to afford to do it because I'd be going broke. I'd have to shut the company down for half a month. Well, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I like to eat. And I have 4 kids and they like to eat. And I have a wife and she likes to eat. And so if I did that, that jeopardized all of us eating. That ain't good. Any married men in here today? That ain't good. So you want to make sure that someone else can buy this. So take a CD. If you're the only person selling it, then that means that you are limited by the people that you meet. You're limited by your own energy. You're limited by where you are geographically. Let's take the game. We have stores in California that sell it. We have stores on the East Coast in what's some cities? Marcus Bookstore. What's that on the East Coast? We got what's the DC, huh? Sankofa in DC, and then in Maryland and in Virginia, Atlanta, all over Texas, Tennessee. I can keep naming. I'm in none of those places. I'm in one of those places. That's right. I'm in one of those places right now. Alicia's in one of these places right now. All of them are selling. Actually, we're number 1 selling in all of those places, from coast to coast. You want to get to 83,000 a month? That's how you do it. Now, that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? $83,000 a month. A little over. This online is $50.
If you could change something about what you're currently doing, what would you change?
What would I change? I would have did it earlier. There's some things that I knew to do earlier and didn't do. I'm gonna tell you the best piece of advice I ever got. Do what you do best most. You know, I would have started earlier and implementing some very simple things that I already knew to do. You know what I mean? And try to retain it. A lot of times we'll see good people and we'll just move about, you know, but I would be a collector of those people. You know, you put good people on the bus and they figure out where the bus is going. You heard Alicia get up here and say, she's the one that said, let's sell it. I never would have thought about that. I never would have. And I'm a business guy. Never thought about it. Sitting right in front of my face. Okay? You're sitting next to Sharisha. We wouldn't be able to do anything. And in any company, there's three very, very important people, or there's an idea person, there's a money person, there's an implementation person. If you try to be all three, you're going to be broke. You're going to be very tired. Because I don't care how much money you got. It doesn't make a difference. If you're a visionary, you can have 30 million in the bank. God's going to give you a $40 billion idea. You ain't got that. And the dude with 40 billion is scared because he got 40 billion, but he don't know what to do with it. He has no ideas. And he is not going to make this stuff happen. He is not going to package anything or nothing. So he has to wait for you to show up with an idea. And somebody else has no ideas and no money, but they can sure enough work it. They can make it happen. You need to make sure that those three things are on your team.
Can you repeat those three?
You want the idea, you want the revenue, and you want the implementation, right? So one is a visionary, one is a financier, and the other is an operation person. Well, I say people, but like it can be divisions, right? Does that make sense? So you may have several people that fund it, you know, may have several people who are working in the actual place, but you're going to need those. And let's be honest with you, like a lot of times when we start businesses, we try to be all three. And you're going to be tired. I'm telling you. You're going to be tired and unsuccessful. All right, any other questions? I know. My man, what's up? Andre doing back here, doing his thing. My man. You know about that city council stuff. Yeah, you know about it. All right. Any other things before we bring up our next guest here? He's going to talk to y'all about his real money, what to do with grandmama house, big mama house. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to bring up a friend of mine. Love her to death. I even love her name. Her name is, she's got the coolest name on the face of the planet. Now, how many of y'all have ever heard of a realtor? Y'all heard of realtors?
Yeah.
Well, if we go about far enough back in the United States, black folks wasn't allowed to be realtors. Right? So you know what we do? We make our own. And so we made an organization called the Realtors. And that organization is still around today. These black folks, these chocolate people that are handling all things real estate. So from the Realtors organization right here in Tarrant County, I want y'all to give it up for my friend, my sister, Shuby. Shuby Newby.
Good morning or afternoon. Where my DJ at? Where'd he go?
We can sing.
Did he have to leave? Oh my goodness.
You bounced on your intro music.
Oh, the intro. Where's Donna at? Donna, what happened to my intro? It was really good.
What song you want to play? I'll play it.
There's a reason why we're playing They Not Like Us.
They not like us, I'm gonna play.
I just got, can y'all stand up?
Right here.
Please?
See Sharisha on it. Okay,
Stand up, please.
we're gonna try it again. Hold on a second.
All right, let's try this again. Everybody stand up.
We're gonna do it again. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to get up off your seat. Put your hands together for my friend, your future sister, Miss Shuby in the house.
All right. Come on, let's blast this. When I say a city, I need you to repeat after me. DC, California, Mississippi, Chicago, Texas, Mississippi again. reason, you have a seat, thank you very much for that intro. I am Shuby Smith, and I am not by myself. I represent Tarrant County Realtors, the Fort Worth Association of Realtors, and the organization as a whole, which is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the premier network of Black professional real estate professionals. And at this time, I would like to recognize some of our members. We have our board chair, Mr. Stephen Jones. We have Natasha Washington, one of our agents. We have a 6-location Black-owned title company, Mr. John Marie. We have Tanita Bailey, who owns construction and rehab. And it's very important that you see all of the different parts of the trade in this organization. I won't take up the mic, but I want you to know why that song resonated with me. I don't know if y'all saw Kendrick Lamar as he did that little thing in Compton, had everybody from all over California there. Gangs, everybody all together. That was beautiful to look at. And that song, They're Not Like Us. And I kept thinking, what do you mean they're not like us? He talking about California? Or what does he mean? But for me, when it says they're not like us, they own buildings like this. They have their average median income is $250,000. Other households that don't look like us. Our average median household is $25,000. A lot of us have lost ground in home ownership and commercial real estate. They have 75%. We're down to 42%. So they're not like us. And we have to turn ourselves around. And that's what this organization represents. And so being like everybody else, that means collective financing. You know, we don't trust each other. If I tell all of you, okay, put $1,000 in this pot, trust me with it, and I'm gonna bring it back with some interest. Are y'all gonna put that $1,000 in the pot? We don't trust. Tanita and I, years ago, before this whole thing with hard money started, we was in the room. But we were the only thing in there alike. And when we were in that room, we didn't totally understand what they was doing, but they were taking those 401ks and putting them into self-directed IRAs, a Roth IRA, and they combined their money to become lenders. That's what they created. They said, put our money together and we'll become the lender. When the banks tightened up, when the banks would allow some crazy things because subprime was gone. We were in that room, but we kind of looked at each other like, okay, so we was out of there. But to this day, it's here to stay. But we have to look at collective financing. I'm the money lady, but she's gonna tell you she's the money lady. But I'm the money lady, she's the money lady. I do loans. And so you can make things happen with money, but the problem is we don't understand how to get the money. What do we need to do? How come we don't own commercial properties? What is wrong with that? When Kendrick Lamar, Dre, they ain't like us. They ain't like us, and they doing all that, whatever that step was with. And I kept thinking, you all should be showing them how to buy up California because prices are coming down. They could take 50% and invest in that, give somebody else, carry a second and get 100% loan. And now you start buying up California, buying up DC, all the places where a lot of us have a high population. And we are feeding those communities in terms of the city and thriving on that money for being rap artists. And I just was looking at them and I kept thinking, why aren't we talking about the money? And so we have a national convention coming, and we're going to be partnered with Master P. And who is the other one that's on there? Master P. You'll see Ashanti there, Music Soul Child, and so on and so forth. I think the light is starting to go off in their heads that you all make all this money, but you pulling it out of our community, from our kids, from all of us liking this stuff, downloading this stuff, but what you putting back in the community so that you can stop saying they not like us, and we need to be more like everybody else collectively. So with that said, I want to introduce some of the wonderful people here and what they offer. You need to know that we are an organization for the community. We have a website, tcrealtors.com. We have a business directory. Everything you're looking for is in this organization. Shame on you to go out there and use someone else without first checking in your own backyard. So from that, I'm gonna turn it over to our board chair. Oh, again, I'm Shuby Smith, Vice President, and our president is Terry Attaway. She's not here today, but she does say hello. So Stephen, talk about real estate.
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay, I am a real estate agent. I'm currently with Keller Williams. I've been in the business since 2005, and I primarily do home buyers, but I do commercial as well. So if you're looking for a commercial building, let me know. There's a church right across the highway for sale at for 1.8. So if you know anybody that's looking, tell them, give me a call. All right. This is our new member.
I'm one of the newest members of Tarrant County Realtors, and I'm all in. My name is Latasha Washington, and truly, I've actually given the speech already 3 times today. I'll just tell you what I did today. I started out the day with the board of directors for a house of worship. We are very spiritual people. We spend good money on the real estate where we pray. Doesn't even matter how we pray. We're going to do that. So
any property you run into, if you want to buy up a property, go ahead and run a check on it first. We can do that for you with no charge. No charge. We'll take it.
Awesome, awesome. All right, anybody in here say Miss B, the money lady? That's me. Yeah. thank you.
Always duplicated, but never imitated.
All right. You see, we got this good camaraderie going on here. But anyway, I'm Tanita Bailey, the money lady, and I own and operate a construction and finance company. I've been in the real estate industry since I was 5. I'm 35 right now. But anyway, literally, I've been in the business as a real estate agent, as a broker, now own my own construction company, and I'm here to help people get educated about real estate and investing, and I'm here to help. So,
What about
and
the
I'm also,
rehabs?
I do a lot of home improvement loans. So I jumped into that because the rates had gone up and people wanted to stay in their home and they didn't want to sell. They just wanted to update what they already had. So I jumped into home improvement. So we offer 100% home improvement loans up to $100,000 with no appraisal, no nothing. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just letting you know that it is available. So I can do that and we can do the renovation and remodel. That's how I got in construction. Is people asked me to help get money and then we came in and started actually doing the work. So I'm here to help and thank you, Shuby, for inviting me.
Thank you. So, with that said, we are a unit. We collectively combined, we can create a lot of opportunities if you have those and you want to bring them forward, like development. And so let's this young man, anybody that's a young person, let me tell you something that I wish someone would have told me years ago when I came out of college. Instead of getting an apartment, I should have bought a fourplex or a duplex because I could have lived in one portion and the other 3 paid a rent for the whole thing. Now I would do what? Rinse and repeat in 12 months and go down here and get an owner-occupied rate. I don't know if I mentioned that I am a loan officer and I've been here a long time. I got in when I was 9 months, I think. So with that said, we want to make it clear to you that ownership, you know, we have got to do better about ownership. We have got to learn this game. And we want to make sure you understand this is the face of an organization that has everything that you need. We are very well connected in the community and we have 3 chapters, but we are the ones that represent all of Tarrant County and some. This young man, you mentioned the businesses that you're in. Buy your property in your business name, you know, and you can take a property and get your gift from your family members and own a property. They can pay that equity and your closing costs. So are there any questions? We want to make sure we address some questions. We want to make sure you know how to find us. And we definitely want to talk about collectively coming together to finance something that is useful for our community or for ourselves. You might want to partner with somebody and buy a 10-unit apartment complex. Some of you think that's not even possible, but we're not financing you. We're looking at what that apartment complex or that commercial building produces in rent. That's how we look at calculating if the cap rate, the debt service, if the building can take care of itself with your tenants in there, you can own a building. So let's talk like that. Houses, they're great, but let's own some big stuff too and know how to do it through all of these resources. You don't have to look outside of us. Spread the word about this organization because that's what we're here for. Are there any questions? Are there any things going on that you have a real question and we can answer for you?
I have a question. So how do you buy a property in your business name? Like what are the stipulations and requirements?
Have an LLC. It could be a sole prop, but buy in an LLC, and we just do a loan based off of you as an investor. You cannot buy a property and tell us it's for an investor, and then you living in that. So we can't do that because there are some documents that you sign that says otherwise. So yes, you can buy it in your LLC.
Let me ask you a couple things. I like the question you just asked right there. How can you put a property, buy a property in your LLC or in your corporation? I want you to expand on that a little bit more because there still have to do. There's going to be a credit check and stuff on you first. And you probably, do they have to have their own property first, their own home first?
No, well, if you buy it in your LLC, we'll look in terms of you as a guarantor, depending on our lender. The guarantor says pretty much on alternative financing, it's not really even credit score driven as much as it is looking at the asset. So it's asset based. But if we are looking at you on a non-traditional loan, it's just more or less to make sure you don't have something that can attach to our asset, like a IRS lien or something of that nature. But other than that, if you're a nonprofit organization, we don't have to have, you're not a guarantor. So we're not even looking at you, we're just looking at your nonprofit organization. How many of you know a lot of them out here buying stuff in a nonprofit? So we can do the same.
What about down payment for that kind of situation?
Well, on a down payment for a non-owner occupied or investment property, it can be 10%, it can be 20%. But what we will allow is for seller to carry some of that to help close that gap. You can collateralize and use a piece of property that we can pull and add it to that loan to pull some equity from that so that you can purchase to help close that gap. So there's various ways that we can structure that. Is there
You can
anything
also
else?
have a partner.
A partner.
You can have a money partner and a credit partner. So if somebody's got a money.
Explain that a little more.
Okay. So if someone has, if you wanna buy a property, let's say you find a good deal, it's an investment property, and let's say you have the property, but you don't have any money. But then you find somebody that has money, and then that person can put the money up, and you guys can go in together under the LLC.
Yeah, I think those things are very important because it comes up a lot, and I think it's easy though, but you have to know them. You have to know these things. Don't be scared. Don't run away from it. Another thing you can do is buy a property for investment. If you don't have a property you already live in, a homestead, buy it with 3% down, 3.5% down, 5% down.
You got 0% down there.
And there's 0% down now. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
With the 1 to 4 unit, so a fourplex, like what he's saying, 0% down, and then you can rent out the other 3. So now you're not paying, as long as that rent is covering the whole thing. But in 12 months, you can rinse and repeat and do it again. And that's how a lot of people have grown their portfolio of properties.
Do not tell a lender that you're buying this investment property. Keep that quiet. Keep it quiet.
Well, at that moment, they're buying it for themselves, but down the road, you have an option to turn it into investment.
Suppose you inherit some property and duplex, you all excited, you go in and it's pretty crappy. Gonna take a bunch of money to get it up.
Go get a home improvement loan.
Well, a 203K, well, what, are you gonna live in it or is it gonna be investment property? So if it's an investment property, can't do 203.
Don't
But-
tell them it's an investment property.
So I do something called a 2-step. Tanita might do something different. We're the money folks up here. But if you have an investment property, first I will get you a bridge loan to include money for your rehab. And then that loan is based off of the after repair value. Once we get it up to where we need it to be, then we do a refinance in a regular traditional loan. And so that way you can get the money quicker, 10 days or less, no appraisal is required. And it's an interest only loan. It is high money, but who cares? Because the goal here is to get it done. Don't ever be, conscious about, oh, that rate is 12%. That's 12% interest only. But the goal here is to get the job done. That loan is a short term, anywhere from 6 to 12 months. And once you get that done, then we just put you in a traditional loan. Is that what you're gonna say?
My voice is kind of bad. This is my third event today. My first one was 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
But I love doing this. I don't often have to get up on Saturday mornings to do it. But I love talking to people and helping them out with these kind of things right here. There's so much we can do, but we're afraid to try.
And there's no dumb question. I don't care how old you are. Things that my mother and father didn't teach me. Grandma and them dying. I just lost my aunt today, and they have. I don't get emotional about it, but she loved this kind of thing. But we own a lot of land, and I'm like, why y'all just telling us about it when all the way up, they didn't even mention it? And so now the question is, they're like, well, we need to get an attorney. I've been in this business 30 years. I'm like, what you need the attorney for? And when they said, I said, do you know what I do for a living? I've done their loans, and they still don't get it.
Yeah.
So development, you know, when you look outside, there's somebody developed this concept of what you see out here. We can do development. There's a lot of development opportunity. Did you all see that the Fort Worth housing got $4 million the other day? Did y'all see that? $4 million to add to the $30 million they had already received, right? But how many of us got a piece of that pie? It's not that they weren't looking for us, but we didn't know how to collectively come together like other people do, go get a contract and make that thing happen. Now we need to change our minds on how that looks, because collectively we have an organization and we have people in the community with resources where we can go out there and make a difference in the community and get a contract. So those are some of the power moves we need to be talking about and doing. And matter of fact, let's stop talking, let's just do, because we do a lot of talking, but we're not trusting. And so one way to be safe and feel safe about that trusting, we got a title company. They're responsible, the gatekeeper of money. So maybe that will give you a little more layer of security to know, okay, when we pull all this money together, we know, hey, as we're building this or building that, money can be held in title. So we got to stop with the old mindset, the old mapping, the old information to keep us down here at 42% in ownership instead of 75%. Like Kendrick Lamar said, they're not like us. I want to change that. I would love for him to come and sit down and talk to me about that song, because they're not like us. When you had a room full of people, if he got $1 from all of those, and then they went and did something in those communities to own those buildings. How many of you know that commercial property right now, have you saw these vacant buildings? Yeah. And nothing running through your head of what you can do with it? Nothing? Be a trailblazer. Disrupt what you've already known. There are things that are happening that you can do and you can have access. You just got to learn how to plug in and get with the resources. We have the ability to look for things that are probably not even on the market that we know about, that we can convert into something else. But you guys have not really sought after this type of group of people because you've been washed to see other as the more subject matter experts. You can't get no better than this. This is just a fraction of our group. Yeah. So please write down tcrealtors.com and go there. Our business directory is there. You can find any of us on the directory. And also we have a forum. If you have a question about something, you can put it in there and someone will answer you. Our goal is to get this out to the community. We had a great event in April that with the church, because we have an MOU with the church on a national level for fraternities, sororities, and everything. We're doing it again April 12th in 2025. It was a success, and it's going to be even bigger upcoming year. Oh, look for that logo. Model that. There you go, Steve. So are there any other questions?
How can non-realtors be realtors?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Andre. If you are in this trade, we would love for you to join us. If you're not in this trade, you can be a subscriber member where you can find out different events that we go to. We have a NAN night, which is networking at night event, where we network with the community and bring forward new information. So go to our website, you can join us. And right now, for anybody that is in our industry, we have a special right now for $100 for agents and $150 for other affiliates that are in our trade but not agents.
So I'm a developer and
hold on. Let's do that again. A developer.
yes. So being a developer and being a part of your organization, how would that work? Like what is your membership and stuff consist of?
We have the special right now. You would come in at the $150. And a female developer. Come on with that. And what do you develop? You do residential?
Yeah, sorry about My name is TK Jacobs. Yes.
TK. TK, oh, she just TK'd on us.
So I do residential and commercial development.
Wonderful, all over Tarrant County, Dallas, what?
Yes, DFW and Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City.
Come on, Casey.
You know that security?
Yes.
You know
That's
any
where
of
I'm
those
from.
people?
Mhm.
I'm the niece.
Oh.
We'll talk. All right, so any other questions?
Say someone bought a plot of land that belonged to their family for generations, and it's in a small rural town, population less than 1,000, only 2 stoplights in that city. What would you suggest? Huh?
I know those kind of cities.
Okay.
Sounds very specific there.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
I like that.
I'm in a band, hypothetically. What would you suggest one do with that land?
Well, first you need to look to see the city plan or the county plan, because they already got something going on, see what's coming through there. And USDA should take advantage of that, with all the different developments and zero down loan for that area. So, but I would start with what's the plan in the city. There's a 20-year plan out there in every city. Look to see what they're doing. Highways coming through, grocery stores are coming through, but you don't find out until they already built. So that's where you want to start.
Okay, it's something that hypothetically someone would want to keep in the family, like not sell, not give away.
You don't have to sell it to develop it and keep it. You can rent out, just like people don't realize, a lot of these commercial buildings, the owner still owns it, but they rent it out to everybody else. You can do the same thing.
What's your thoughts on that? What's the family thinking?
Hypothetically, I'm not sure, because hypothetically, there would be no one in that town to take care of it, make sure that the property is being upkept. But you said that you would have to have an investor, someone, the 3 tenants that you named. So I guess that would need to be.
Well, no, you don't have to be there. You know how many people own all this stuff and they don't even live in Texas? So you rent it out and you gotta build the structures yourself and keep them and rent them out, and go target you a grocery store, see what the need is in that community. And then you find your anchor and everything else will start filling in.
Do a ground lease.
And work with the agents.
Ground lease.
Ground lease,
And
yes.
if it's just a vacant lot, just have someone cut the grass.
Yeah, it's currently vacant, and the properties have been bulldozed hypothetically.
Yeah, I think we all know a lot of places like that, and it's basically don't spend any money on it. It's a waste of money. You can have the lawn cut if you think it's going to develop into something later on. If the value is going to increase, if you don't think the value is going to increase, get rid of it and put it in something else. Put it go.
Yeah, but if it's land always can make money.
Yeah.
Put a structure on it. Put a mobile home structure. Airbnb. I got to go to my Airbnb here tomorrow and update some stuff and just get money out of it. Some kind of way. Put a mobile home, a double wide or something like that.
I don't mean, our time is out. Chicago's trying to leave the house. Chicago. But we thank them for coming, and if you guys need to reach us, we're here and available. Thank you.
I like what Dr. Washington said about knowing people or people knowing you. I call it alliances. Create alliances. Then you're gonna know each other. That's what it's all about. So we
Okay, all right. All right, first of all, y'all give it up for all of these phenomenal speakers on today. Shoopy, is this you right here? Shoopy Doopy? Okay, so, all right, now. Yes. Yeah.
Whatever you want to say. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. I'm Say Watson. I'm an attorney. And I do probate law, wills, trusts, all of that kind of thing. In order to get grandmama's house, grandmama gotta have a will.
Come on.
So make sure you have a will done. If you don't have a will, you trying to get grandmama's house, but you got granddaddy too. And if neither one of them have a will, you're not going to just get it. So make sure you have talk to grandmama and make sure she gets a will. Everybody over 18 needs a will. a will or a trust. And also, we recommend that you get a power of attorney. So if you become disabled, your business and everything can still go on. You also need a medical power of attorney if you get ill or something. A directive to physician when you come to the end, what kind of treatment you want. So consult an attorney to talk about estate planning and will so you can get grandmama's house.
And we do have that in our organization.
Thank you. Yes. Wills, trust. Get that trust, avoid those taxes. Okay. Oh, come on up, Ricky.
I don't know about that, but you made the comment earlier about working with people, working for companies, right? She said, there's nothing wrong with working for companies. I work with young people, and one of the things I tell them is, I don't work for companies, I work with companies. So when you go on to work with somebody, you're working with them. That stigma of working for them. So the way I offset that is by reminding them to work with them, right? And then I remind them to find something they love doing so much they would do it for free. But be so good at it, somebody want to pay you for it.
Love it.
That's entrepreneurs. Get the passion. Your passion leads you to your purpose. So I want to work with you. So I've worked with several people. I tell them, I work with them, but I ain't work for them.
Come on now.
But I will work with you long enough to own my own, because if not, people will pay you to live their dreams if you can't live your own. So, thank you.
Y'all give it up for Ricky Clark in the house.
Really good.
My man. I tell people, don't hate your job, just think of it as your biggest investor. There you go. Okay. Now, let's see if people were paying attention. We got some giveaways today. Thanks to my man, Mr. Andre McEwen. Y'all give it up for him. In the house. Let me tell you how Morehouse men do it. See, when Morehouse men come in, they just say, okay, where is the need? Woo! I didn't talk about that in business. That's the longer class. You want to make some money, find the need. Where is the need? How many? He said, he's Dr. White. How many we want to give away? How many? See, so we're gonna bless the people. So let's see here. So I see how much y'all was paying attention. Give me the full name of our first speaker on today. Who can do that? Hands in the air. Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about
Alicia?
Alicia?
What? Who said it?
Alicia Johnson. Gabby said.
Did she say it? Come right on up. All right. Alicia Johnson.
I said, it's her birthday too. Go get it.
It's her happy birthday. All right. Thank you. Okay. Got another gift here. Okay. Now, for this one, I want you to think about one of our last speakers. She said, one of these two things need to be in place if you're going to get grandmama's house. Hands in the air. Yes, ma'am. A will and or a trust. Come right on. What's your name? Tiffany. All right, Tiffany. There you go. Okay. You really wanted it. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Now, on this one, I want you to tell me what is the name of the Black organization that was formed because African Americans could not join the Realtor organization. No.
TCR. Yes, she's right on that. That's the national.
But that's the national.
Yeah. TCR. You want to say the local chapter?
Well, you know what? I gotta give it to her.
All right.
I gotta give it to her. Come on up. I gotta give because it's a national organization of realtors. So, wait, but what? Oh, I'm sorry. What does it stand for?
National Real Estate.
No!
What'd you say?
Yeah, she's still making it up.
Did she get it right? What'd you say? Say it again.
That's correct.
That is the national.
Now, hold on a second. We also have, there's a very specific name that doctor said it. Come on up. I heard you. You thought I didn't hear you.
I was gonna let it go.
I was not gonna let it go. I heard you. Realtors, come on. Okay, now, for this last one, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. Now, I gave y'all some business advice. Instead of playing games today, we're putting you up on games.
Come on now.
Now I want y'all, who can give me at least 3 of those points that I gave to y'all earlier?
I can.
Okay, she says she can. Give them to me. She's a note taker. Okay, all right, come on with it.
Okay, the first thing you said is best that we do business to business.
Yes.
And then you said, but you let me talk. Sorry. Contacts turn into, contacts turn into contracts.
Yes, yes.
Automate has systems that.
Come on with it.
And 10 things that help your skin become an esthetician.
Come on with it.
Idea, revenue, implementation, visionary, money, and.
Yeah, boy, y'all put up. Come here. All right. Did y'all have fun today? Did y'all learn something today? Did we put you up on game today? Here's what I want y'all to do. Make sure you take a picture, put that on Instagram, Facebook. Huh? She needs a combo? Okay. We got a shirt for you. What size shirt you wear?
Oh, I got mugs in the hot.
Oh, you want to do a mug?
I got mugs in the car.
Okay, you want a shirt or a mug?
I want a shirt.
You want a shirt?
You said that first. I said I want a shirt.
We gonna get her a shirt. See Sharisha, see if we got a shirt that'll fit you back.
Can you call up everybody that wants something up front?
Yeah, everybody wants some. Come on up, let's take a picture.
We do need a picture.
Banksy, Alicia, come on up.
Yeah, he usually forgets you.
I'll never forget. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Alicia.